Hi everybody, I just want to give you a quick preview video for tomorrow's lesson. This video is on how to factor trinomials when that a value is greater than 1, meaning that value in front of x squared. All right, so the warm-up questions are a quick review of what we've already been doing. They're either factoring our trinomial to two binomials or just factoring out that greatest common factor. So if I look very quickly at these, I'm just going to kind of do a quick overview with you of two of the four. I'm not going to do all of them if I can get my screen to work. Okay, so for the first, remember, it's a is the number in front of x squared, b is the number in front of x, and c is the constant. So I'm looking for two numbers that multiply to get 45 and add to get 14. Again, you can use that x method. They multiply to get 45, add to get 14, right? So I have 9 and 5. So I go x plus 9, x plus 5. I'm going to skip 2, and I'm going to go to number 3. So number 3, I noticed that the number in front of x squared, or your a value, is greater than 1. So my first train of thought is there a greatest common factor? Is there something I can divide every term in my trinomial by? And that would be 2. So I'm going to pull a 2 out, and then I get a squared plus a minus 12 because I divided each term by 2. And then what I do is I look at that trinomial and I say, oh, I can use that x method, and I can go ahead and I can factor. Right, I'm thinking of two numbers that multiply to get negative 12 and add to get 1. So I should have a plus 4 and a minus 3. Again, you can use that x method. I just didn't write it on my screen. Okay. So now today we're going to extend this a little bit to problems when that a value is greater than 1 and we cannot factor out that a value. Right? I can't divide every term by that, so I have to kind of combine some tricks with that x method so that I can actually factor those. So the general steps are this. We're going to call what we slip the a to the end of the trinomial and multiply it by c. We're going to do a lot of slipping that a back and forth. Okay, then we're going to factor like normal, all right? And then we're going to have to divide both of our factors by that a. So if we slip the a by multiplying it by c, at the end we're going to have to divide so we balance everything out. So let me show you some examples. Let me slide my screen up. I have 4 total. I'm probably going to go through 2 or 3. You can stop the video at any time if you feel like you've caught on. All right, it's going to take me 1 or 2 for you guys to catch on. So if we go back to our rules, I am going to draw that x method over here. And we said we're going to slip the a. We're going to multiply a times c. So for this particular question, it's 2 times 3. Again, a is the number in front of x squared. B is the number in front of x. C is the constant. So a times c, which is 6. I'm still going to add to get b, which is 5. So I think of two numbers that multiply to get 6 and add to get 5. Hopefully in your brain you got 2 and 3. Right? So I have 2 times 3, or 2 and 3. Now, I said if you slip the a to the right and multiplied, when you're done with the factoring, you have to slip the a back with division. So I'm going to change the color just so you can see a little better. And I'm going to divide each term by that a value, which is 2. All right. And then I can go ahead and write my factors. So I have x plus 2 over 2, and I have x plus 3 over 2. At that point, I'm going to try and simplify those fractions if possible. The first one goes, 2 divided by 2 is 1. So I get x plus 1. The second one does not simplify, but I don't like that fraction. So what we're going to do is we're going to slip that 2 and basically multiply that whole binomial by 2. So 2 times x is 2x, and then 3 halves times 2 ends up being 3. Okay, and I'm done. All right, so in general, we're going to go a times c. We're going to keep b. When I factor, I'm going to divide each of those by a to get my 2 binomials. Okay, you can pause the video and rewatch, or I'm going to go to question 2. Okay, question 2 again, if I look at a is 5, c is 6, so 5 times 6 is 30. So I go ahead and make my x. Again, this is a times c, which is 30. B here is negative 17. So 2 numbers that multiply to get 30, add to get negative 17. So I'm going to have negative 15 and negative 2. Again, I have to slip that a back. So if I slip the a to the right by multiplying by c by a, now I have to divide everything by a to keep it balanced. Divide everything by 5. So I write my 2 binomials. I have m minus 15 over 5 and m minus 2 over 5. Again, at this point, if I can simplify those fractions, great. If not, we'll do that little multiplication trick. Okay, the first one does in fact simplify. 15 divided by 5 is 3, so m minus 3. The second one does not simplify, so I go ahead and I multiply that whole binomial by 5, and that in fact gets me then 5m minus 2, right? Because if I multiply this whole thing by 5, 5 times n is 5m, 5 times 2 is 10, and then 1, so 10 over 1 is 2, just so that's, you know, where that comes from. I'm going to do number 3 for you, and that's the last one I'm going to look at with you. Hopefully you guys then can rewatch the video. It's just kind of a preview. We will go over these again tomorrow in class. Okay, and so the last one, if I look at this one real quick, am I clear? I can go ahead and keep writing because I've got some space. Okay, so I can drop my x over here. Remember, a times c and b. So a is 6, c is -4 for -24. So I get -24. They have to add to get b, which is -5. Okay, so this one's a little tricky, right? Because they have to multiply to get negative, add to get a negative, so it's one of each, one positive, one negative. So I get -8 and +3, right? And then we slip that a back. So we're going to divide each of those terms by 6. All right, so when I write my binomials, I have y minus 8, 6, and then I have y plus 3, 6. Again, I'm going to go ahead and simplify those if possible. Both of those simplify. Okay, 8, 6 becomes 4/3, and then 3, 6 becomes 1/2. And then I can go ahead and I can then multiply each of them by that denominator to cancel out the fractions. So if I multiply by 3, I get 3y minus 4. And over here, I multiply everything by 2, and I get 2y plus 1. Right? You can always go ahead and use the box method, double check. You can go ahead and watch this video again. Otherwise, we will see you in class on Wednesday for a full lesson on factoring with a factor greater than 1. Bye, guys.